Hey guys, welcome back. As promised, in today's video, I'm going to be doing my go-to foundation routine. And a lot of the products I'm going to be using in this video are from my Ride or Die tag video. And at the time that I was filming the Ride or Die tag, I didn't think to do a makeup tutorial with those products. And then I watched other people's videos afterwards and I was like, oops, my bad. So this is sort of like my Ride or Die foundation routine using those products. And it was important for me to do this video because in a lot of my tutorials, I'm trying out new foundations. And a lot of the times, I love the foundation for the time being, but don't like it afterwards. So instead of just like throwing new foundations into videos, I'm gonna start reviewing them a little more in depth and wearing them for longer periods of time, maybe wearing them for an entire month before I give a review on them. But for now, if you guys are interested and wanna see what my go-to foundation routine is, keep on watching. Say hello to my little friend and his friends and all of his friends. What the? All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have already prepped my skin with my rosehip oil. I don't have a set moisturizer that I use every single time, but I do always prep with my rosehip oil first. And same thing with eye cream. I don't have one that I use every single time, but I do love this one from PORE. It's the HYDRAGEL Lift. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this underneath my eyes. And then I always go in with my fingertips and press it in to make sure that there aren't globs of eye cream underneath my eyes, which could lead to creasing later on. I'm going to be priming my skin with my NARS Pro Prime Pore Refining Primer. I not only use this on myself every single time I want to look flawless, I always use this on clients. It really extends the wear of your makeup, controls excess oil, and just leaves a really flawless finish. A lot of you might already know my Ride or Die go-to foundation is my AQUA foundation. This stuff just never fails me. It always looks amazing on my skin, especially when I have breakouts or redness on the skin. It makes it go away, and it's funny because it is a light to medium coverage foundation, yet it has this way of making your skin look airbrushed. So I'm gonna apply it with my fingers first and then blend it out with a beauty blender. I do mix two different shades in this foundation. Technically, I could use shade 123 on its own, but for me, it's not olive enough, which is why I mix in shade 143, which is very yellow and olive in tone. Before concealing and highlighting, I always like to use a peach or salmon toned corrector right in this inner corner to make sure that it doesn't show up gray later. My favorite one is the Intensive Skin Serum Corrector by Bobbi Brown in the shade Peach Bisque, which I swear works on almost every single skin tone unless you are a very deep skin tone, but fair to medium skin tones, this shade tends to work on everyone. And you'll notice that the Beauty Blender is definitely my preferred method or technique for applying foundation because it doesn't feel as heavy when you use a Beauty Blender because it picks up all the excess product that you don't need on your skin. And again, it leaves a really flawless finish. Flawless being the key word of today's tutorial. And now I can conceal and highlight using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee. And again, I'm gonna dispense it on the back of my hand and then apply it to my skin and then blend it out with a beauty blender. After that, if I still have some blemishes that are showing through, I'll go in with my RCMA foundation and concealer palette to cover them up. And this palette comes in handy for situations like this where you've already highlighted. So it has a wide variety of foundation and concealer shades in here, which is great because obviously some areas of the face are lighter and darker, so you can find your perfect color in here. It is a little excessive though, I guess, for personal use. You don't need this many. They do sell the strips that only have like, I think 5 colors, which I think are more user-friendly. This is more for like a professional makeup artist, but hey, if you want all 18 colors, then go for it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this to cover up those blemishes that are still peeking through. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and set all of this with powder. I'm gonna be using my trusted Laura Mercier translucent powder underneath my eyes. And on the rest of the face, I'm gonna be using a new favorite powder. This is the POREFESSIONAL Agent Zero Shine Powder from Benefit. However, I do have a bone to pick with them. I just started using this powder. I absolutely love it. It really does make your pores disappear. But I just don't like the packaging, and because of the packaging, I've already ran out of this powder and I just started using it like 2-3 weeks ago. And that's because you have to open up the cap and dump the powder out. And there's like nowhere to really dump it out. I guess you're supposed to do it in the cap, but it made me waste a lot of product. So I absolutely love the powder. The packaging, not so much. I'm still gonna use it though. to set the rest of my face, and I'm going to use the Laura Mercier powder underneath the eyes. Also, one of the reasons I use the Laura Mercier powder on the eyes and then the other powder on the face is because the Agent Zero Shine powder is so soft. It leaves a really nice silky finish on the face, but when you do it on the eye area, it dilutes any eyeshadow that you apply on the eyes, especially the lower lash line, which is why I use the Laura Mercier on the eyes and Agent Zero Shine on the face. So with the other powder, I'm just lightly patting it on across the skin. You can even do little rolling motions to really press it in there and then flick away hair that is on your face. Unfortunately, I had some mascara still lingering that's causing this little like black patch underneath my eye, but that's all right because I'm gonna be adding some eyeshadow that will go over that anyway. But this pretty much sums up my go-to foundation routine. I wasn't gonna show you guys bronzer, blush, and highlight because I do switch those up depending on the look, but I figured I would go through it really quickly so that way you get the full look if you watch this video and then my previous video with the eye look. So I'm gonna go through those steps really quickly and then come back to do the setting spray. And I'm back with my makeup done. Again, this is the same look from my previous video, which I will link up here for you guys. The only thing different is the lip. I changed it up just because I wanted to give you guys some options. This is Trust Issues by Anastasia, one of my all-time favorite Anastasia liquid lipsticks. So now I'm just gonna set everything with a setting spray. And the reason I didn't mention a Ride or Die setting spray in my Ride or Die video is because I don't really have one. I tend to jump around between setting sprays. I don't have a favorite go-to. I do prefer hydrating mists over like an actual setting spray just because my skin is on the drier side. So for me, a hydrating mist makes my makeup look more natural versus a setting spray. So my current hydrating mist that I like to use is the Ole Henrikson Nurture Me Facial Water. But if I do want a setting spray, so sometimes I'll do this and then a setting spray right before I walk out the door, I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. So for now, I'm only gonna spray myself with this, and that's it. And that completes my go-to foundation routine. If you guys want the complete look, definitely check out my previous video on this eyeshadow look. I'll link it up here. So that way if you watch that video and this video, you'll have the entire look. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I see you in the next one. Bye guys.